Hello, sunshine. How art thou? How's your weekend? How was your Monday? How was your Saturday? Sunday? How are you, family? Um, I'm going through a little bit because I'm just not liking this whole situation here in Jersey. The situation here in Jersey with the kids and stuff. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it, and it's not making me focus. Not at all. At all. But I want to give today someone asked me about this, and they just so happen to be in the Diva squad, and don't touch that cuz the wires, don't touch it again. So I wanted to be on well, the Diva squad member asked, why don't I teach portraits? Because that's all she wants to do. She wants to learn how to do portraits. I said, I can't do it. And she's asking me all these questions, why and whatever. And I'm like, I've been there, I've done that. I can't really do that anymore. Um, am I skipping? Because this is saying my connection is very low. And I don't know why. It says my connection is very low. But yeah, the person in the Diva Squad asked me, to teach her how to do portraits. It is skipping. Why though? Hold on. Give me just it's gonna skip a little. Let me turn it on and off. Let me skip. Maybe this is better. I don't know why. That's weird. Let me turn this off. Cause I do have my remote thing on. Let me turn that off and see if it's that. It could be that. It was that. Yeah, I don't know how we gonna go without that because I was gonna show you a part of the reason why, but I'll figure it out. Um, wait a minute, let me put this back in here. Okay, so hey, Peachy Peachy. Thanks, Shay. I appreciate it. I just wanted to do a little bit something different. Yeah, I just want to do something peachy, something a little different. Hey, Nat Nat, how art thou? Congratulations, you are a part of the Diva Squad. Good for you. Okay, so like I said, the Diva Squad, that's who I'm going to give my attention to. Whenever they say they need, I'm there. They just haven't been saying it. But the little questions that I do get, I take it and I run with it. Like I try to get as much information as possible. This right here has not been just from the Diva Squad, but from other people as well. Can you teach me how to do a portrait? Can you teach me how to do this? And then I was hiding it. I was hiding it for a long, long, long time. And I'm gonna tell you why. I was hiding it. That if you asked, I might say yeah, but I didn't want to do portraits, and it's a lot. It's a lot to it. I don't understand why this keeps going in and out. But anyway, the the portrait is a very, 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 very tedious thing. And I'm not just going to add it into the software and just let the software magically do itself because it's not going to work. This thing is really getting on my nerves. It's saying it's not stable, but it's not going to work. Some people think it does. It's fine for others. That's fine for you, but I just can't do it. When you put it in there, it looks a little blurry. You may have shadows in the wrong area. Um, it's just a lot going on. I don't understand what is going on. I turned the thing off. Maybe if I do Wi-Fi, maybe Wi-Fi will work better. So, you hear me? Okay. Well, I want you to see too because I'm going to show you why. I'm a visual person. I have to show you why I don't teach portraits. But it's all right. I'm going to do what I can for now. I just turned the Ethernet card off and put it on Wi-Fi. I don't know. I think it's because I added the software to attach to my phone. Um, it's going to attach to my phone. Okay. Good. Okay. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Cause it's telling me no unstable signal. But anyway, I said that I was just going to do this, and I keep saying I'm not gonna do any more graph videos, but it's no way impossible I can ever do I can't just not do a graph video. So it is what it is. I have to renege. I have to go back on my word and do graph videos. Um the crazy thing is that's what give my channel life. What's ironic is the numbers for all of the videos that I talk about graphing, it goes up. It gives my channel life. All right, so basically when I started doing portraits, it wasn't until like years later after I started graphing. When I started graphing, I started doing just regular like cartoonish type clip arts, which is like the 2D dimensional vectors, cartoonish type of things. That's what I was doing. Then I started escalating more into more detail, more graphic arts, illustrations. I started progressing into that. I started to do portraits on my own, like my pictures, my kids' pictures, like just practicing. Never told anybody. I just did it. So when you see the photos of people having their family members or a man, a woman, or whatever, and it could be like different shades of gray, right? And it may look good to you. I just want to say that I love art so much that I studied everything about it. I took an art class and I don't even draw, but I wanted to know, where do the shade go? Where do the cheekbones go? Um, if you have to add eyes. So you don't understand that when I graph based off of artistic way, meaning like I used the the way they go about their face features, like they start like with a cross, and from up here they do a certain thing, and that's what I do when I graph. Now I do that because I want it to look real. I want it to be realistic with it. I want it to look like art. And if I'm going to do a portrait, I'm going to do a good portrait. But not only a good portrait, I want to be able to do a portrait that you are able to crochet and it still look like a good portrait. When we do the just putting it into the software, putting the size that we want, and then letting it do whatever it needs to do for us, the thing that it's missing is lack of definition, detail. Um, Sometimes the shading is not going to go the way it needs to go. So when I look at it, I see a photo, but it's not a portrait. Like it's not. It could use work. And a lot of people don't see that. Their eyes are not going to see that because they just see something that look nice, and that's fine. Me, I cannot sell it. I cannot make it. I am not going to make a graph for you and it's not done correctly. I am not going to create the graph and crochet it for someone else if it's not done correctly. I just can't do it. And it is not even about the money with me. It's my name is on the line, and I just love art so much. I need it to look good. So when I do my photos, I decided that editing my photos is the best thing to do. Editing the picture before I graph has caused not just not just easier for me to graph, but I'm able to add certain definition that will make it look stand out more. So that's what I decided to do. And I decided to do that years ago, but now that's hands down, that's all I do now. Any portrait I do, I edit. So I add that into my cost. Someone asked, "Can you take the edit out because they didn't want to pay the full price?" Can you take the editing out and just graph it? No, I cannot. So if you do not agree with my method, then maybe I'm not the right one for you. If you want to buy my graph, buy the graph from me so that you can create it. I don't think that I would be that right one for you if that's what you want me to do, because I am not gonna do it to the best of my ability. And that's what I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how I edit. And I may just edit like a couple of things. I may edit nothing that you may notice, but I do. And the reason why I do that is so that it's a difference when I add it into the software. I add it into the software with the edit and without the edit. I see a big difference. I don't want to spend months and months and months on one portrait. So I want to be able to edit, and I can look at it and I can tell how how I'm going to shade it, how I'm going to create it, if I'm going to make it more of a like a hollow art, or if it's just going to be gray tones, sepia tones, or just straight up color. I can tell as I'm doing it which one will look best. What I also do is, even if I made it cartoonist, but cartoonist with definition and detail, and to make it look like a cartoon but still make it look like that actual person. It takes a lot to do that. I don't like unconnected lines, which are the lines that do not connect, because when you are crocheting the lines that do not connect, that is what causes your work to look choppy. So all of this I take into consideration. All of this is what causes me to charge what I charge and to say it's going to take a good amount of time. So I have like this long list. The list is a long list now, of what I do when I am about to do a portrait. So if you were blessed enough to allow me to create your portrait, I just started this long list, and it's detail after detail after detail of everything. So if I am doing a regular I'm doing a regular graph. And the regular graph, I ask questions. I ask it a lot. If you want me to devitize it, I'm gonna ask you questions. I'm gonna ask, like, who is it for? What colors do they like? What did I do that for a reason? Because as you're telling me these things, I'm visualizing how I could take this portrait, well, this photo. It doesn't have to be an actual portrait, but I could take this picture and create it to look like a masterpiece. I can visualize adding certain things to it to make it look different and to make it look like um just yours, right? So, when I'm doing a portrait, it's a little bit more than that. It's not me adding a star here or heart there or something like that. No, 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 no. It's way more to it than that. It takes time. So, I've done videos on here of me graphing. And a lot of times it takes up just about the whole entire 2 hours that I'm on here. The thing about it is, if I did it on here, I started earlier. So it does take more than that. A portrait takes way longer. Like I said, I don't just edit into the software and just let it do its thing. I literally dot by dot. So if it's a 150 by 200, I'm literally taking each dot and rearranging it from the bottom to the top. So it's probably like a million little dots that I'm changing around. And someone is like, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? And that's why I decided a while ago that I wasn't going to tell anybody that I did it. And then I did. And it actually was by accident. I didn't realize I was spilling the beans. I didn't realize I was saying it because I've been doing portraits for a while now. But I got my bang. But I realized I spilled the beans when I was doing someone's portrait and I did it on here. Well, I didn't do it. I was just showing the differences and I posted it on my Instagram and then it was like the water run over. Like it was messages on top of messages on top of messages on top of messages. Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you make this? Can you make that? Portraits are so overwhelming. If you think I take a while with the regular grass, imagine me doing a portrait. It's a lot. All right, so let me add this. So I'm gonna dedicate this the portrait and this whole entire Mentor Monday, I'm going to dedicate it to our Elmo. Elmo is Shay's baby, her fur baby. And Elmo is gone away from us now. And that right there, I think it hurt because when we do this and Shay is on here, who does she always show? Elmo. Because Elmo is gone, I she asked me actually a while before that to do the portrait of both of her fur babies, Diva and Elmo. And I actually was in the process of putting it on my list, my to-do list to do it. Then when she told me that Elmo is gone, I said I need to make it a priority to have for her so that a lot of times when we crochet our memorials and our loved ones, it's a therapy thing. It releases a lot to actually sit there and crochet um and this is why I make it way more than just a person or your fur baby, your loved one. I even had a car that someone loved to death and they didn't have it anymore, and it was like a family thing. I even like hyped the car up because I asked those necessary questions like whose car was it? When did you get it? How did you get it? What did you name it? Like I asked those questions because I wanted to put all of the love that you had for this car into the picture. And boy, did I. Like they did that. It was so clean and nice and it wasn't blurry. And I swear to you, like this was a really really good thing, and that was in the beginning of my graphing stages. So I decided that I wasn't just going to do a regular graph for my portraits at all, especially for memorials. I will not. I think that our loved ones deserve to have a little bit of their um, favorite saying, or if they like the Steelers or something, I might add something in the back of black and yellow. It doesn't have to be the logo or anything. I just try to add like little symbols, and sometimes people don't even notice it or see it. Sean's, I did the Sean is actually on the thumbnail of this. Sean Fuller, when she asked me to do it, Neek, when she asked me to do it, um I asked a little bit of questions, but I didn't have to ask too much because looking at a picture can tell a lot. 1,000 words, right? Picture shows that tells us 1,000 words. So I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, this man got it going on. He got to be this. I can actually make it so that it looked like he is like a Rick Ross, like he's the boss. And I made it look like a magazine cover because it looked like he the boss. So that's what I mean by me just looking at something and changing it from the picture you give me to a portrait and a keepsake and something that you can give to another loved one or keep it for yourself. And it doesn't even have to be a throw or blanket. It could be a pillow sometimes. Don't be giving me them big detailed images and you wanted me to put it on this. Now, some I can do, some I can't. And that's the difference between me and other graphers as well too. I can make something this big. I don't have to do it like 200 by 200 or 300 by 300. No, I don't need to do all of that. I can make it an actual throw size and we still would be good. And that's why it takes me a long time. If I was to make it 300 by 300, it would be like this. Graphing a 300 or more portrait is easy because you have way more little dots. And the more dots you have, the better it looks. And that's what some graphers get you. If you was to buy and you say, that is nice, I like it, I'm gonna buy it, you buy it, and when you look at it, you're like, why is this like 300 by something like that? Yeah. That's how some graphers are able to get you because it's easy for them. So they do that real big, huge picture and graph it and give it to you, and it takes you like years to finish it. I learned my lesson. I found out that my statistic of someone actually getting my graph and actually creating it is higher than those who just do it just to do it to get money. Many of you will create mine versus someone else's only because, not because it looks better or not. No, it's because the size is doable. We don't want to spend years and years and years on crochet blanket or something like that. You don't want to be making no extra large California king blanket just because they don't know how to scale it down. So that's something that I took pride in, that I knew how to do that. And that's one thing that I did teach. And I'm glad I taught it because some of them do it, some of them don't. All right, so now I'm going to start from the beginning. You give me your photo, and right from the rip, I would take the photo and start asking the necessary questions that I need to ask. Like I say, I have a long thing of a list of basically what the portrait entitled, like what entails of me graphing it. And I ask those questions. Some people read it, some people don't. And then you wonder why I'm asking all these questions. I don't think a lot of people like to read. They just like skim through it. And then I'm like, you didn't answer me. Like, I need this information in order to make it good. Like, help me out some. So I'm gonna choose. A lot of times I also ask for more than one portrait. I may ask for like two or three, maybe more, because the photo that you may give me, you may like it, you may love it, it may be the best thing that your customer has. But when I graph it, I edit, it may be a little off, it may be something going on, and it may not be the right one for me, or I can do one of those headshot side profile things. Like an actual photographer. I take photographer classes too, y'all. I'm taking these classes because I need to know, like, how can I set up my portraits? So when you give it to me, I can set it up. So you can have the head going forward, but then on the side, you got this. the side profile, and that can be for your loved one. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a memorial. It could just be maybe something you want to give to your grandmother of all her grandkids. And I will have the grandkids. I had someone who could not ever get the grandkids in one setting. Never. Ever. So she was like, I don't know what to do. So maybe I could do like 2 or 3 blankets with all the grandkids. I said, give me all those pictures. Every last picture of all the grandkids. And I put them all together. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I charge a good amount of money because I edit, I graph, and it takes time to do that. So all of this stuff that I'm doing, I'm fixing your resolution because you might have an older picture that might have stains and rips and stuff, but that might be the only picture that you have. I am going to edit that. These are the things that I have no other choice but to add in my price. So my price for a black and white portrait is $25. It's actually between 20 and 25 depending on the portrait. And the color is 30. And some people be like, that's too much. That's too much. I'm gonna have to ask such and such. Okay. I'm not gonna beg anybody. I have to do what I have to do. And then it's like little like a la carte things that I add if you want to add like written instructions or if you want me to rush it. Because if you want me to rush it, that means I gotta stop what I'm doing and do yours. That's an extra fee as well. So those are the things that I started to add just to make your life easier and my life easier. All right, so let me add this. Let me see if it's going to go through without skipping so you can see how I do what I do. Um, thank you for paying. I didn't pay for this. Okay. I was about to say I'm not paying for this. All right. So let me add it, add you to what I am looking at. So you can see what I do. It still say connecting. Oh, that's because I didn't click the button. All right. Okay. But I got it. All right. So I'm gonna bring it up so you can see what I see on my phone. So I usually don't use my phone. I usually use um I can't find it. I usually use my why can't I find it? I usually use my Photoshop, which is on my computer. But a lot of people don't know how to use Photoshop. So that's why I'm not using it today. But I'm trying to figure out why I can't share my screen. Oh, here it is. Your prices are cheap compared to the time you spend editing. So I got my price based off of um uh illustration and editing. Um and then with the graphing, I only charge like $8 graphing. So I just kind of like gave a generic price based off of that. To get an actual portrait from someone doing a regular a digital illustration, that's gonna be like $75 up to like $400 or $500, and it's not that serious. I mean, It is, but it's not. I do know that back in the day, what was it? Color by numbers or numbers by colors? Todd, he had it was a good amount of money, but I think he had kits. I've never bought it from him, but he would create the picture, put it on like written instructions, and he would send it to you, but it will be like 80 or more dollars. And I'm thinking that was a good price. At the time, I didn't think it was a good price, but I'm thinking now that was a good price. But the crazy thing is, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the news I just got. Violence. But his stuff wasn't even as good as mine. I'm not just saying that either. You buy his stuff. I don't know if anybody's still buying it, but if you buy his stuff, um, it's blurry, it's choppy. I don't I'm still to this day looking for someone who can match me. There are good graphers, don't get me wrong. There are graphics that I even taught, but to match me, I have not found anyone. Because it's not all about graphing to me. I want to make sure that I am getting it like a actual story. Like I love art. I just love it. Art to me is like my world. Okay, so let me see. What are you guys seeing? Okay, good. All right, so this is her baby, and her babies. The little one is Elmo, and the big one is Diva. So ironic, right? Diva. All right. So what I'm gonna do is, I usually would take the pictures, and she gave me like three of them. So I have this one, and that one, and this one. So I would take the pictures and I would look, and I decided to do Elmo because his face right there, I gotta add that. I have to add that somewhere, somehow. I don't know how or what, but I'm gonna add it because I like it. The way he's looking at the camera like that. It almost looked like he's not even looked like somebody like added him to the picture, but that's really him. So I'm gonna take this one first because this one actually stood out because I thought that this was cute, being that they just sleep together. So I'm gonna do this one first. So, like I said, I'm gonna go to PixArt because you guys, I can't, I am not teaching Photoshop. So I usually go to Photoshop to do all of this because it's easier for me. It's easier and quicker. Because I took classes for Photoshop like years ago, and so that's what I use. But you don't have to use Photoshop. This is an app called PixArt, and PixArt is easy. It's not. It's almost the same as let's just say it's an Android art for the dummies, art for like the new beginners. This is that type of app that you would use if you wanted to do a Photoshop picture, but this is what you would use. And some people say they still have a hard time with it, but what I like about Pixar is it gives you like different types of tutorials on here. There's a way that you can like click on someone else's work and they can show you step by step on what they did. Or you could go on YouTube and you could look it up. So there are so many different ways you could get a portrait to look the way you want it to look. You just got to do the work. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I need to crop this out a little, but I want to be able to crop it out in the shape that it is. So I am going to do this. So it will come out like that. I just want to make sure that I get them. So I'm gonna do this. So I'm thinking as I'm going, because a lot of times I don't know what I'm going to do until I play around with it. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking to maybe have them on like grass or a cloud or something. Um, yeah, I'm thinking a grass or a cloud might work. So I'm just trying to get it as close as possible. Okay. So I did that, but I'm not finished. I'm gonna go back because I want to be able to take away the pink thing that they're laying on. Right now, I'm just seeing what I could do, like the easiest thing I could do. Okay. So this gets as close. When you do that, it gets as close as possible to your target. And I'm gonna get around the edges that it didn't go. Now, I don't have to be exact because when you graph it, you're able to get rid of some of the things that you can't get rid of here. So, like right there in the middle where you see the right there. Um where is it? Right here in the middle. Oh Lord. Where you see some of this pink, I can leave that because I could get rid of that. I could get rid of that during the when I graph. So I don't necessarily have to play with it, but sometimes I see it and I'm like, I gotta at least get some of it out. I don't know. My mom be telling me, you could do it, Shauna, you could do it. So I'm just going around. And the thing with this is, which is a good thing, even if you messed up, there's ways you can fix it. So even if you accidentally, if you take too much off like that, you can either go like this or go back to brush and go back, and there you go. So I'm just taking a little bit more off. And then that is it. Jesus, why am I was about to say, why am I so shaky? It's that dang going bang. That bang got me shaky. But all right, that's enough, Shauna. That's enough. All right. So, oh, the ear. It went way more than I wanted it to for the ear. Okay. I just realized something. You could barely see the eyes. So that's another thing. When I'm looking at it, I'm looking at, what parts are going to be easier, what parts are not going to be easier. So because I can barely see the eyes, I might want to edit it a little bit so that it can bring up more of the details. So I would go into effects and play around with it. I learned certain things that will bring out more definition than others. So I do know HDR does it. Um, there's some other effects that may bring it out a little bit more. So I would, play around with it. If I needed to make it black and white, I would do, something like this in black and white. And I would play around with it. I would probably keep it like this, but just make it a little bit lighter. And if I wanted to turn it into like a cartoonish thing, I would do it here. I would do what you call it? Um for the cartoon, not Flora. Where is it? Where oh Soul. That's what I would use. I would use Soul. But I'm not making it cartoonish, so let's get that out of there. And just basically I play around with it, but because I'm not using none of that, I'm just gonna leave it like it is, and I'm going to play around with the other photos retouch. So if it was a face, I would play around with this, which is basically getting rid of wrinkles. Or if there's like a glare on something, I would change the glare on something. So when I'm telling you I do editing, I literally do editing. I do not play around. If I have to change the hair color, I will change the hair color. Sometimes people say, well, she liked her hair color this color, but she didn't have it in this picture. I would do that. Um, and I would do it on here versus doing it on the actual software because it's a difference. Doing it on here on this app, it will show more of the definition of how the hair is supposed to look versus when you do it on if you just go into the app, not the app, into PC Stitch and do it, it's just going to be one red color without the actual definition and the highlights and the curl where the curl is supposed to be at. So I would rather do it on the app. Okay, so that is done. But again, I will don't save. I will have another one as well. I'm trying to find one with Diva's face. I already have Elmo. Maybe this one, I guess. So I would, play around with this. I'm not going to do it on here because I don't want to. That's what I mean. It takes a lot of time. So I will send that to I will send it to my laptop. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Send it to my laptop and upload it so that I can put it into the software. Now, um, once I do that, I would I will set it up so that I can figure out what exactly I'm going to do with it. Because sometimes I still don't know. Sometimes I play around and try to, play around with certain pictures. Um, or I may use my editing software to set up a design. So, for instance, I could already set it up so that I can have the grass already there and put them on top of the grass and then, set it up the way I want it to set it up. But I'm still in the process of trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I say I want the grass, but I may not. I may not. I don't know. What app? That was Pixar. I'm not using Photoshop because not everyone knows how to use Photoshop. So I was using Pixar. All right, so now I'm gonna go and get the photo so I can show you how I do the graphing. Is there any questions while I'm going on? Um, any other questions? Because I'm going to show you why I do not teach this. The next step, I can't teach you how to edit because I didn't learn the professional way. When I learned how to do Photoshop, it was because I was in school and that was just one of the options that we could learn in school, which was Photoshop because I was in a technology class. But I didn't do graphic design until I was older. And I realized that's something I just like to do. So I did some classes with graphic design. It wasn't my major or anything. Nursing was my major, but I just decided to do some classes with graphic arts because I just love to do flyers and stuff like that. I just love to do that. So I can't teach that. I can't teach that. I also wanted to learn. Are you sending me another diva picture? That's a deep. Oh, this. Why you didn't send this to me? Jeez, girl, you should have been sent that to me. All right. So anyway, I'm going to go into PC Stitch and let me show you how I do it. PC Stitch. My nose is starting to get stuffy, and I don't know why. All right, so let's see how I can get you into this because it doesn't always allow me to do it. Girl, I told you. What did I tell you? I need whatever you have. Yeah, it's not allowing me to show you, and I don't know how did I do it before. I was able to do it, but I think I was able to do it from my other laptop. Shoot. Yeah, I was able to do it from my other laptop. All right, let me see if I can get my whole screen. Dag, my nose is so stuffy that my eyes are tearing up. My nose is stuffy all of a sudden. Let me see if I can get the whole screen. Okay. Let me know if you can see because I won't be able to know. If you can see what I'm looking at. Can you see what I'm looking at? I won't be able to know. Before I go on, just let me know yes or no. Can you see Diva in that picture? Shay? Um, yeah, because I can't. When I do it this way, it's not okay. Good. All right. So at least you can see it. All right. So this is Wizard. Import Wizard is the part that is hard to show you because this is another part of the screen. This is like a pop-up and it allows me to do some work on photos before I go into actually graph it. So I'm going to not use the editing software, not well app. I'm going to do it on here so I can show you that you can do it on here as well. So I'm going to crop it, as much as possible. I'm going to do I am going to do a landscape, um, which is 200 by 150. So it will be 200 stitches across and 150 rows tall. So I am going to do that. I am going to estimate how big I want Diva. So however big I'm going to make Diva, I'm going to have to make Elmo. And being that it's 200, I will have Diva on one end, Elmo on the other end, and then in the middle, I will have both of them. Now, I'm just thinking of this just now. I just came up out of my brain just now with that. So, what I would do is I would have it come over here on this side. So, when you are adding your photos to your software, maybe like Stitch Fit or something, this is how it comes out. And then that's why a lot of people opt for the big version. So what if I made it 200 by 255? Look what happens. It starts to get a little noticeable. And I'm not doing it that big though. This might be something I have to edit because it's not coming out the way I need it to come out. But again, this is just the reasons I'm showing you why portraits are a lot and why I don't teach it. So I'm just playing around right now, playing around with it. Each photo is different. Each picture that I receive is different, including even though this is going to be the same graph, she provided different photos and they all were different. All different sizes, backgrounds, some were lighter, some were darker, and there was a lot of background that I have to get rid of. So, with that being said, I can't go by the same exact technique that I use. I will have to use different techniques each and every time I do a photo. So I can't teach that. 100. I'm gonna do 130. 100 by 130. I'm gonna crop it some more. So the more I get close to her, the better. The better it's gonna be. Now you still see what I'm working with, right? Yeah. Um so the reason why the colors are looking like this is because I now added Big Twist yarn. I did it my own self. I just added the library of Big Twist. So my newer graphs are going to have that. Because I added Big Twist and Red Heart, I'm eventually gonna add more. It's a certain amount of colors. Versus if I just use what they had already on here, which is the floss, it would probably be easier to look at, easier for the picture to come up because it has way more colors. Wait a minute, I just realized something. I added 15. Let me see if I add 25. Man, this is something I might have to just yeah, this I'm going to um use it, but I'm going to have to basically use my best judgment to graph this. And what I mean by best judgment is, as you can see, it may look like you can see all her features, but by the time I click it and go into the actual graph so that I can play around with it and clean it up, it is not going to look good and you're going to get lost and you're going to be like, what the hell did I just get myself into? So I'm going to have to basically do this on my own. So I will have to do a lot of ad libbing. So I will get rid of the background and then I would just shape her up. I didn't ask you, Shay, did you want black and white or color? I never asked you. I think I already have it in color, so but it doesn't matter. I could still change it if you want it in black and white or color. So again, I can still keep playing with this, but for the sake of this live video, I am not going to keep playing with it because I could be doing this for like another 20, 30 minutes longer, but I'm going to let it go. I am going to have to do a lot of ad libbing regardless, but I'm gonna have to do a lot of ad libbing. Like literally make the eye socket, make where the cheek the where the white of her snout is and her eyes. I'm gonna have to like kind of create it. So yeah, yeah, this is some craziness. So the fact that I am doing this, a lot of times what I do is so that I do not get rid of vital colors, I will take something like a color that stands out. Cause I know sometimes I show my work as is, and some people be like, "Why would you have green and there's no green on there? Or why would you have yellow or purple when there's no yellow or purple on there?" I use it to help guide me. So all those light colors, if you see this right here, this is all of the light colors. All of the light colors. So because you see all those light colors mixed up in there, that's why it has those little dots everywhere. Those little dots are gonna show up because of all of the little whites that I can't see. So once I merge those together and take it off, it will be better for me to get it to look like this. See? Because that's what I do first. But I didn't want it to I didn't want to mess up anything else. So as you see, I'm ad libbing. Her tongue was right here. So that's what I'm doing. I'm adding her tongue. Pumpkin. Why was it pumpkin? So, adding the tongue, but I'm not finished with that because I have to add definition to it. As of right now, it's more her tongue is more of like a cartoonish thing because it doesn't have shadow and texture to it. But that's something that I will do later. I also have a picture right next to me so that I can see exactly how it looks and how I can make it stand out more. the the green. I'm gonna take the green and I'm going to do this to basically get rid of the background. The background that I don't need, this is how I get rid of it. I take a color that stands out and I use that to go all around. Is this her hand? Yeah, right? That's your hand. Yeah. Uh, oh, wait, I see another one I could have used. Uh, I could still use it. I'll just use this just for practicing. Um, up here is part of, it's just a darker part of where the yellow is, so I'm not gonna touch that. So as you can see, I am being really careful on what I am erasing. Have you ever saw a graph where you may think the mouth is supposed to be there and they have it looking like the neck, or it's supposed to be the ear and it disappears somewhere? Well, I literally will make sure that you have your neck. I will make sure that your photo have the ears. I will make sure, depending on if it's necessary, in the photo. I may not need it. It may not even be in the photo. So that's something you gotta look at as well. So as I'm looking at the photo now, I notice that this right here is the background. So I'm getting rid of that. Now, you see this, right? You see exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking each area and I'm literally going from dot to dot, dot to dot. I don't just put this in the software and let the software do whatever. So it's harder. It's not a, is it ready yet? Because I gave it to you a couple of days ago. It's not like that at all. Like, this is a lot that I have to do. Um, And this is not even graphing yet. I'm not even graphing. I'm just getting rid of the background right now. So this is just me setting it up. I always start with the setup. So like I said, I did the editing part. Now I'm just doing the um getting rid of the background. Now if I already had the background going, like if I edit and I took the background out, then I usually just have it set up and have it sitting there and waiting for me. So I would save it and it would sit there and it'll wait for me because I will have all of the photos that I'm going to use lined up. So I know that the size is going to fit right. Because if you noticed, I kind of like eyeballed the size. I've been doing this for a minute now, so I kind of know how to eyeball the size. A lot of people ask, how do you know that's going to fit? Sometimes I don't know, but I've been doing it for a while now, so I know, like, I just made Diva 100 by 135, but I'm making it landscape. So because I'm making it landscape, I have 200 stitches across to play around with. So being that I added her as 100, that means I have like another 100 to play around with. So that's what I do. I'm also going to have them in the middle. It's going to overlap, and that's what I want. I want it to overlap. It's going to overlap. I may not even use all of her. I'm thinking of just adding her and Elmo to each side and then having the two of them in the middle. And then I'm going to add some accents. Like for a human, I may add doves. or their favorite flower or their favorite team or something like that. That's what I may do for a human, but for the fur babies, um, for the fur babies, I may add paws or maybe a favorite toy that they like or something like that. I don't even think I did the whole process with Shay, but she talks about Elmo and Diva so much that I feel like I know them personally. So I can kind of get an idea of how I'm going to do it. All right. So now that I got this background done, is that all of the background? No, no. That's not all of the background. I don't know why all of a sudden my nose is so stuffy. Okay. So now I should be good. I think I took a little too much off, so I'm going to put a little back on. Okay. Now I could take it off. Okay. So that I'm going to keep that yellow because the background is white right now. So being that the background is white, I don't want to get it mixed up with the white that Diva has on her coat in the front. I don't want to get that messed up. All right, so now I need to get all right, now I can stop that. Warrior status. I don't understand. Hope your sniffer gets better, Shauna. My sniffer is really sniffing. Like I don't know why. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, it's like I don't know. Just all of a sudden, I just started sniffing, and I don't know why. All right, now let me get the ones that I did already. So I did Diva. So let's get Elmo. Let's take Elmo, and I'm gonna show you that. Oh wait, I don't know why I did that. I disconnected. Let me go back so I can show you. I can show you her. Okay. Export, import, bam. Look at her. Look at him. This is Elmo. Okay, so I'm gonna get as close as possible. Now I did Diva 100 by 130, being that Elmo was smaller. I'm going to do maybe 80. Maybe 80 by 100. Yeah, I'm gonna do 80 by 100. Again, eyeballing it and just doing what I do. This is horrible. I'm gonna have to ad lib with this too, this. Can you tell? Like, and this is how some of y'all, let me not say y'all, let me apologize for that. It's not y'all. But this is how some people actually leave their stuff. And it looks like this right here. And I don't understand. How can you leave that? It looks blurry, choppy. When you crochet that, it looks different. It doesn't look good, in my opinion. It don't look good. But I get a lot of ridicule for saying that. And you want to know something? I don't care because I stand by my work. I stand by my work. I love what I do. And it comes out looking good and it comes out looking clean and clear. And that's why I've I've been able to do this for a minute now and not have any issues. I don't want to hear nothing. Okay. Yeah, this is crazy. All right, so I'm gonna leave it like this because again, I'm gonna have to ad lib. So this is why it takes a long time for me to complete your photos. It takes a long time. I can't sit. I also have RA. I cannot sit here longer than I'm gonna say 3 hours, and that even I'm not really supposed to do that at all, at all. I'm pushing it. I'm not supposed to. Like here, I'm sitting in this setting for 2 hours. When I'm finished, I have to get up because it's not gonna be good for my knees or anything. All right, so I'm getting rid of this black, and the reason why I will not just click black and delete because there's some areas that I need black in the picture, so I'm going to keep it like that, and instead just get rid of what's around Elmo. Now, as you can see, Elmo's ears wasn't purple. Elmo's leash was not purple. This is how some of the softwares do us dirty. This is how it's so hard. And some people say, I just can't. I just can't. It doesn't work in my favor. That's why. You do know I'm on live, right? Okay. So when you are looking at this, as you can tell, the detail don't make any mistakes. It's going to give you the shade of every single detail. For instance, if I take this green and I go like this, right? Or like that, it's giving you the shade of Elmo's color based off the picture. So you don't want to delete all of that. Right here, you see where Elmo's face is? Elmo has red fur, but in the picture there's certain shadows or there's certain ways like where underneath his eye, like right here underneath his eye, this is area where it needs to be a little darker. There's an area where it might need to be a little lighter. These are the things that I look into. When you get rid of all of that, it starts turning into a 2D picture, not photo. And not necessarily even 2D, more like cartoonish, a vector. So I am going to make it look more like a photo by keeping the shades, not that, keeping the shading that it's showing me. So right here where the blue stands over here, and then you have like the blue is going like right here and then right here. I'm gonna keep that. I'm not gonna make the whole thing blue. So this is again something I can't teach. I can't teach you how to look at something and tell, oh, keep that shading, but don't keep that shading. If you have my ebook, and a lot of people I don't think is reading it because they ask me questions that I know for a fact I have in there. Um, it tells you, the ebook tells you um to watch your shading, to look at your image and look at what you're graphing and go back and forth, look at your image and look at what you're graphing, because right here where you have um the leash, it will definitely show you the shading. Yeah. You see, I'm adding this black. I know you like, why would she add black? You know why? Because I'm looking at the original and I'm looking at this. And it's shading. Um, so this right here, varsity blue. So I might um switch it. So I will make this navy. I will make that navy. And then the other part I will make blue like that. And that's just basically me following all of the details. This has shading too. Now, I don't do it all the time. There's some areas that do not need it because it's gonna be but so big. So to add every little last shading and dot and this and that, it's not necessary. But how do I pick and choose? I have to look at the original and look at what I'm doing. And once I look at the original and look at what I'm doing, that's how I can tell what I'm going to use and what I don't need, what I can get away with, what I can change. Um, yeah. And I can't teach that. I can't teach that. Each image will be different. It will be different. So now I'm going to take the gray because this is where the chain is of the leash. And I'm going to go like this. And yeah, so again, I can't teach this. This is something that I just have to play around with. I'm turning him. I keep saying her. I'm turning him around like this because Diva is going to be on one side and Elmo's going to be on the other side. And then I'm going to put them in the middle. So let me get the other one. Okay, so this is a picture of both of them. Copy it, put it over here. Okay. So this right here will be the majority of the whole entire portrait. This will be the focus of the portrait. So because this is the focus of the portrait, I am going to make this like maybe 150. I'm thinking 150 by 110 or 120. Okay. So this is exactly what I knew what was gonna happen. I knew that once I put this over here, it was going to blur out the details of their face. I kind of knew that. Um, so this is something that I will have to play around with as well. Again, this is gonna take me a long time, and I can't sit here and do that because this is a certain time limit on this live. But if I was to sit here and do it myself, each photo that I'm going to do probably would take me a couple of hours each. It may, and because I can't sit here and do it all at one time, I have to get up and move around or do something else. I would either stop this one and maybe go to another graph. Because I'm doing that, this cannot be done in one day at all. There's no way possible. I can do this in one day. This is something I'm going to have to do on a daily basis until it's done. And to be honest, I may not be able to do it on a Tuesday because on Tuesdays I have meetings all day. There's certain days that I spend all day graphing. So when I tell you that it's not ready yet, it's not because I'm not doing it. It's because I'm not ready yet. And that's something that is hard for some people to understand. And I get it. When you put when you're not singing this, you don't see how detailed um I am and how detailed it is to graph. So this is why I'm doing this. And I also wanted to prove and show the reasons why I cannot teach this. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. I have to problem solve. Every single graph I do, I problem solve. So I basically look at the photo and try to figure out what is the best way I need what which one of these things down here in the import wizard I can use to make this the best image for me to grab without having to do a whole lot of work. And right now, it's just making them look like a big blob. It doesn't give their face definition. I will have to add that in myself. And you understand? I'm not an actual artist. I do not draw. I don't draw at all. So this is a lot. It's a lot. It takes a lot. I had someone say, I want my money back. I want a refund because this is just taking too long. This is ridiculous. So this is why I set up that long thing. It takes about 6 weeks. It may not take 6 weeks, but I put 6 weeks. 9 times out of 10, it may not take 6 weeks. But she got mad after the sixth day. And I only got up to this part of hers. And she said it wasn't acceptable. It's not acceptable. And basically told me off. And anything I said did not work. It didn't matter what I said. It didn't matter how I said it. It didn't work. She didn't want to hear it. And sometimes I'm gonna go through that. It's fine. It's okay. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at her because she don't understand. So I'm not gonna be mad at her. She doesn't understand what entails. The reason why you came to me is because when you did it, it didn't work. She doesn't understand that. And there's a lot of people that may not understand that, and that's fine. Again, I'm playing with this, and y'all, it's a lot. So you want to know what another grapher would do? Do 300 by whatever. They would do 200 or something or 300 or something to try to make it a little easier, or tell you I just can't do it. Or say, this is it, here, take it. And you're looking at it like, This is not my babies. What are you doing? I don't even see my baby's eyes. And I'm telling you, I see it all. Or some people may do it. Crochet that. I don't know how. I don't know how. How the heck you crochet that? Jeez. All right, so I'm not gonna play with this anymore because obviously I'm gonna have to do something else a little different. So sometimes I could go through all of this and realize this is not working, and I have to stop it and do it a whole different way. So it looks like I'm going to have to edit it all over again. Do you understand? This is not as easy as you think. All right, so let me get rid of the background. Now this I could just get rid of because it ain't there's nothing on here that's blue. Or is it? No. So I got rid of that. Now, oh shoot, I'm such an idiot. I left it as 300. Shoot. I'm sorry. Let me just get that real quick. Let me go back and get I'm not even gonna go through all of that. Let me just get back here. I said, well, what did I say? Like 150 by 120, I think. I said 150 by 120. I think. Anyway, it don't matter. I'm just gonna show you like the steps that I'm taking to do this. All right. So I got that. Now I have some black in there in the mix, so I'm going to have to take one of these and get rid of the background like this. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to put them together. And then I will answer any questions you may have. Try to convince me on what I'm doing wrong. I will listen. If you think I need to lower my price, I don't think I will, but convince me. If you think I need to add more to it, if you think I need to do this or that, let me know. I am so open to whatever you need me to change or do. I'm so open to it because apparently a lot of people are not liking what I'm doing right now. They don't like that it takes so long. I have so many impatient people around. So, like I said, this is going to be right there in the middle. And then I'm going to take Elmo. Hey, Elmo. How you doing, buddy? Copy. This can't be it. Is this it? No. Is it? No way. No, I knew that wasn't it. There we go. I'm going to paste. So now I'm just playing around with it. That way I can line it up the right way. Let me see if I can flip it. Now, from here, when I'm looking at the collar, I'm looking at his collar, and I could tell because of what I did and how I did it, it looks like an actual picture. It looks like the shading, the shadow. It looks like an actual picture. And that's what I mean. Like, don't just delete everything and make it just one color. You need to add the actual shadows. But I can't teach that. I can't teach where the shadows goes because each photo is going to be different. And yeah, I'm not going to do every single time you grab. Somebody actually said that. Can you help me every single time you grab? You ain't even a Diva Squad member, and you asking me that? Boo bye. You didn't even buy my ebook. You ain't support me, but you want me to do all that work. Sorry, boo. I can help a lot of people, but that right there may be a little too much. All right, so I think I made Diva a little too big. Um, Let me see. No, 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 no. That's not what I meant to do. I may have made Diva a little bit too big, but that's fine. I can always change it. I can always change it. That's fine. Just in case but you kind of get kind of where I'm going with this. Um I may not even do this. I may do something totally different. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm thinking of something else. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. This is a lot. Like, this is not just no put it in a software and make it do what it do kind of thing. It's not. So the reasons why I cannot teach how to do a photo is because each photo has a different way to problem solve. That's basically what I'm saying. Problem solving. If I'm going to problem solve this image, it's because I want to make sure that I have the right colors, the right shading, the right size. Am I adding the right details to it? Um, yeah, it's all of them are going to be totally different. And then I'm thinking the price. To be honest with you, I think that's a damn deal. Like $20 for black and white, which is basically the gray tones, and um 30 for the color. That's a steal. That right there is a steal. I don't see me charging anything lesser than that. That I am not negotiating at all. But to say that I would teach someone how to do a photo. So this is how it is. I do classes on how to graph. How did I learn? Just basically practicing and listening to people that were doing it before me and looking at their work and seeing what I could change and what I cannot change. When I learned how to graph, I graphed the crochet and crochet to graph just to make sure that the two were going to come out looking the best that they could. So that's what made me also started doing the whole pet peeve thing where I cannot stand unconnected lines. I can't stand when it's blurry. If I can't see exactly what the image is, I cannot deal with it. I won't do it. I won't even look at it. So, yeah, I can't teach that. I can't teach someone who has a preference of this looks good to me versus me who have to be, and I'm not gonna say perfect because nothing is perfect, but at least for it to look like it's quality, it's worth your 30 bucks or more. It's worth the time that I'm taking into it. Like these are the things I have to consider. And this is also my name. Not just that you're crocheting it. A lot of people will create these things from the graphs that I create cannot mention my name at all. That's fine. It's okay. Some people say, no, that's not fair. They need to say your name. Okay. God got me. Okay. That's it. That's all I need to know. God got me. All right. So if that person feels like they don't want to say that I did it, that's okay. God got me. Because at the end of the day, I've been doing this for a while now and I'm still being able to do it. And I'm still that still that diva. There's a lot of other students that I taught that are doing their own thing, and I'm like excited about it. I don't get upset. I don't get jealous or anything because why would I do classes or why would I teach it if I'm gonna get upset or jealous? I just wouldn't do it. But I love the fact that I see everyone doing their own thing. I love that. I love that. Seeing everybody doing their own thing and making their creations and doing what they want. I love that. I love that so much. But you want me to do yours? I have to have something very clean cut, clear. I need to make sure that it's quality. You can see the eyes, you can see the textures, your bone. You can see all of that. I need to. I have to. It's just something I have to do. So yeah. Um, any other questions? C. Santos. You are in the Diva Squad, so you are already in the right place. I don't know if you are part of the Graph Like a Diva part. Graph Like a Diva part is where you need to be because I promised myself I will never do a class again. I will never do a graph class again. But what I did do was I have now the ebook. So that is on Amazon, or if you want the PDF version, the PZ oh Lord, I said virgin. The PDF version. If you want that, that's $40 and Amazon has it for 50 for the Kindle. It's you could get it on Kindle if you want. But the PDF version is something why I keep saying virgin. The PDF you can print because some people were saying they wanted to print. So I decided to make it different formats. And that is something that you would want and need, as well as being a part of the Diva Squad, Graph Like a Diva membership, and you will get me quicker than just looking for me all over social media. I have not been asked any questions from the Diva Squad except for why won't you teach me how to do photos? And she just asked me that like maybe last week. So I said I was going to do it today. Why I won't teach portraits. This is why I won't teach portraits. Do you see all this stuff I had to do? And then when I get that next photo is going to be completely different. I'm not going to do the same exact thing. It's problem solving. You have to use different techniques. And not everyone agrees with that, or not everyone uses that strategy, or not everybody uses it. Not everybody agrees with it. Not everyone feels like they need to do it because the way they're doing is fine. And that's fine. Just I'm letting you know what I do. I would like more on how to graph like a diva. Well, if you are graph like a diva, so I have all those videos for all the graph like a diva membership. All those videos are in there. All those links. The the ebooks. And every now and then I ask, anyone have questions? Anyone need help with anything? No one says anything. I don't know what else more to do. But I'm here if you need, if you're part of the Graph Like a Diva membership squad, I always ask, what do you need help with? No one asks. No one answers. at all. So I'm mostly just sitting back waiting, or sometimes I will grab something and I will upload it to show you. Just like if I'm thinking, oh, this may be a scenario that you guys may want to learn. Because when I do problem solving, I do the same strategies all the time. If you have the ebook, the same exact strategies I add in the ebook. Every single time I will edit the graph, well, the photo, I will add it into the import wizard. I would do whatever I need to do in the import wizard. I would clean it up, but before I clean it up, merge the colors. So these are the things I do first before I literally go and click every single last dot. I do all of that because it allows me to clean it up quicker if I do those steps first. That's in the ebook. I also had how to do text. How some people want to know, how do I make my text bend? How do I make it flip? How do I make it 3D? How do I do all of that? I show them how to do that. How do I add font? Why do I add font? Why don't I add font? I did a video on that. I actually did that not too long ago. Um yeah, I did all of that. How I do my cut and paste. How do I merge them all? The size. Why the size need to be like this? Why the size not need to be like that? Landscape and portrait. Those are the two and most important things you need to know when you're graphing. Because if you put a photo of like Elmo, which was like a portrait size, and you make it into landscape, then you're gonna have all of this um dead space. Certain ways you have to do it that works for me. I can't say for anyone else. For me, it works for me. Someone else may be fine with the size being extremely long but really narrow. Somebody may be fine with putting, dead space around. I just like for all of my graphs to have a story and for it to look good. I'm going to show you something that's not a portrait. I'm gonna show you something that's not a portrait and show you how tedious a actual um cartoonish type will look. The cartoonish look is still a lot of details in that as well. I'm gonna show you that real quick. Like, this is something I don't play with. This is my livelihood. This pays my bills. So I do not take it lightly at all. And I don't suggest anyone else take it lightly. If you want to use it as a business, I don't think anyone should take it lightly. I think I got it. So I'm gonna show you something. Because there are certain areas that I think people don't understand either. When you have um a portrait, not necessarily a portrait, but an image, I think people think that I'm supposed to add all of the little tiny, tiny details, but you want it this small. Doesn't work like that. So I'm gonna show you something real quick. Okay, so this is Mickey. This is one of the graphs that I'm trying to do now, but I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna change it. It's not gonna be exactly the way it is now. And then I'm gonna add all of. I'm gonna use this one photo, and I'm going to create all of the NFL in the background. So I'm gonna use this one photo, but then I'm going to take the logos that I already have, and this is why I save each piece. So I may just want Mickey Mouse. I may just want Mickey Mouse. I may not want nothing else in there, and that's what I would do. I would just cut Mickey Mouse out and keep Mickey Mouse, and use that as just one single graph. But then I might have Mickey Mouse with just Mickey Mouse in the logo, or I might have Mickey Mouse in the car. So I will take one image and make four other graphs. And not only am I going to do four other graphs, I'm gonna be able to add each NFL team to it because I always keep the logos. And I keep the logos in different sizes. I may have a hat version, I may have the scarf version, the pillow version, a blanket version, and I may have them in so many different sizes so that I don't have to keep graphing it each and every time. I'm telling you, I don't play with this. This is my livelihood. This is what I do to pay my bills, and I do not play. Okay? I keep it like this and do this because it helps me out in the long run. Um, let's see. So in the scarf, as you can see, there's little white polka dots. I don't know if you can see, but those are the little logos for Steelers. That's the little Steelers logos. There's no way possible I can keep those little logos in that headband. So what I would do is either I would make it something different, maybe just add black in there, like black polka dots, maybe stripes, or just make it all yellow. Those are the things that I will consider when doing something like that. This shirt has Steelers on it. Will I keep it? Nine times out of ten, I won't because you could barely see it. And not only can you barely see it, it's like kind of from an angle. Someone told me, "Oh, just put the name there." No, I would edit it first. I would not just add the name in there from the software. I will go to the app, to my Photoshop, and I would take the original photo. I would clean it up a little, meaning I would clean up the headband and clean up the shirt. And then I will add whatever I want to add, name or whatever to it. But then I will make it line up with the way that I was about to say Elmo, with the way that Mickey Mouse is positioned. So it's turned to the side and it's also at an angle to look like it's on the shirt. If I just put the word or the name just like that right there smack in the middle like this, I'm gonna show you, it won't look, to me, it won't look good. It will look artificial, kind of, sort of. It won't look natural. So that's something that I would like. See, it doesn't look good. Sean, I'm gonna put Sean. Yeah, that don't look good. It looks like you just add it. I don't want to do that. I want it to look like it belongs there. So a lot of times I will go and edit first and then graph because with this software, PC Stitch, I'm not able to make it, uh, turn it at an angle. I'm not able to turn it at an angle in here. I can only flip it and turn it to the side like 90 degrees, but I'm not able to make it stretch and warp and stuff like that. I won't be able to do that, but I could do that in Photoshop. So I would do that first and then I would bring it here. So again, these are the things you have to go through if you want to be Shauna that grabs, not anyone else, because someone may not go through all of this at all. Someone may be like, "Oh, you don't have to do that." Yeah, but I can't do it. Any other questions? Let me get rid of this. Before I depart, any other questions about portraits, photos, whatever, whatever? Let me get rid of this. Erase text. Um, I may not even have Steelers right here because that may not look good. If anything, I might just have the circle and the diamonds right there. I might not. I might just have it, you know, on the whole entire page and look, and then it will look like Mickey Mouse is in the middle of it. I don't know. It may be a lot of things that I may decide to do and not have it exactly like the picture. I Because this is the actual picture. Yeah, I will definitely change it. I will not make it look like the actual picture. And I will cut it up. So I will have Mickey, Mickey in the car, Mickey with the logos, and I might not have NFL logos. I might have other logos. I might have basketball logos. I might have Games On logos. I might have all different other types of logos. It may not just be NFL. It might be, a saying on there. I might add Minnie Mouse to it. You never know. Like my mind is consistently moving and going and shaking. So I'm always changing up. Always doing something different. You never know which way I'm gonna go. If you say divatize it, I'm going to divatize it. I am going to make it do what it do. And a lot of times I won't know what I'm doing until I'm doing it. Okay, so there's no other questions. So that's why I cannot teach it. It's no way I can teach something that I have to change every single time. Every single time I get a portrait, it will be something different. And then it may take um a couple of hours to edit because if you ever watched like sit there and actually watch a graphic designer create something, I literally did a 3-hour live with someone watching them do creation. She was doing illustrations, graphic illustrations, and she was creating the SVG files for the Cricut. I love her work, and we actually have an agreement so I could be able to use some of her work, and I have a license for it. So I get excited because I have a connection with this artist, and she allows me to have a license to use her work, and I won't get sued. Um, but I love looking at her work, and I love looking at how she creates them. And I even said, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna like make it like this and make it like that. I don't know how to draw. I use other photos to manipulate photos, whereas she could just draw it. Sometimes I would say, well, wouldn't that look cute if you did this? Or wouldn't it look cute if you did that? Wouldn't it look cute if she had like a little bob or a fedora or something like that? Yeah, that's how I come up with the things that I do. I could walk down the street and I could see somebody with a shirt on that looks cute. And I think of how can I do this? How can I change it? And then I would go home and I would try to find it. Hi Shauna, I do purchase a lot of your patterns. I love the care you take in creating your work. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I noticed that you've been doing a lot of reviews and I appreciate that because Etsy has this new program now where you are able to become like one of their top sellers. And the more reviews I get, the more I get bumped up. Sometimes I get like a 4 or 3 star because of something that someone don't understand, and instead of asking me, they would give me a 3 or 4. That 3 or 4 a lot of times bumps me down. I think somebody gave me a 1 because they got mad because they didn't read and they thought that they were getting actual blanket for $8. They thought they was getting an actual blanket for $8. I can't erase it. So it brought me down a lot. And then I got a little warning from Etsy saying I'm not gonna be on their sellers because I went from 90% to 79%. So when Miss Sharon was adding all of her reviews, I decided to create something where I give incentives like appreciation for your reviews and appreciating your purchase and supporting me. in my household, my boys, and feeding us. So I decided to give 2 per month free grabs. So if you leave me a review on the Etsy, and it has to be up to two per month. I can't do no more than two per month. So two per person per month, free grabs. So if you did one this week and one next week, you get two grabs. Um, but if it's the next month, then you get your 2 month your two grabs again. So that's what I've been doing, as well as I've been giving a whole lot of thank yous, which is the 10% off coupons. And I've been giving a lot of if you tag me in, like, on Instagram or on Facebook, and you tag me and you put that I created, I've been giving bonuses for that as well. I'm doing this because this marketing class that I'm taking, I've been slacking some, and I'm seeing my stuff all over the place, but because I'm not tagged in it, I don't add it to my work. So for my portfolio, I need to start adding more of your work, because it will coincide with the graphs that I have and the blanket that you made. And when I put it on my website, I will definitely give you bonuses and stuff like that for allowing me to add it to my website for my portfolio, and so that I'm able to show my work, because I'm in a different caliber now, and I'm starting to put my stuff on a higher level for higher people who are asking for this. They want to know, you're making all of these grabs. Who is creating them? They want to know that. They want to see that. So if you have um my graph and you create it, just tag me in it and I will put it to the side. I may even put it in my Etsy. Now, if I put it in my Etsy, you get another free graph. So we working together, right? We working together, giving some bonuses and incentives. But thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for asking your questions and supporting me. I appreciate it. Um, if there's anything else you guys need, let me know. I am still adding new graphers to help me out. I already have two. So I have two new graphers that are helping me out. And I am doing some bigger and better things. So look out for them, because my name is getting out there, y'all. My name's out there. I'm so excited. And all right. So you guys have a good week. I will see you on Sunday, Chronicles of Crochet Diva, and Monday, Mentor Monday. Have any other questions? Hit me up. Let me know. Put it in the comments below. That way, if you need me to do something specific, I will do it. If you need me to answer your question and you want me to put it in video form, I will do it. Let me know. So you guys have a good night, and I will see you later. Bye.